Well, Mort will be sharing that with him, and he also says he'll come in when we need a cameraman. Anything we need. Mort, I just wanted to thank you for your service and give you a moment or two just to say how much fun it's been for you, if it has, or what an aggravation.
It's been so much fun, Reed, actually, that I don't need any thank you for being here. The thank yous should be going in the other direction. It's been a pleasure to come here and watch the show, participate occasionally, shoot my mouth off a bit. But again, as I say, it's been so enjoyable. Please do not thank me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Mort, you've been giving us a wonderful 15 years of terrific service and influenced a lot of things and happenings and laws in New York. I know that for a fact because you had a campaign for voting on school budgets at one point, and that was something. You managed to turn it around. The whole deal turned around. What do you like to do now when you're home? Now you're retired, and you haven't been working for many years, of course. You started out in Westfield, but what do you do now for fun?
Well, I gave away my major source of fun, which was my stamp collection that started when I was about 12 years of age, and gave it to my son, who I thought would enjoy it. I don't know who he's given it to, but I hope somebody is enjoying it, because it was a nice collection. In those days, when I started collecting stamps, most of us collected stamps from all nations. But as the number of nations exploded, and as they all realized that they can make money coming up with beautiful stamps, which stamp collectors will buy, I don't know, just lost some of the charm, some of the magic that it had when I first began collecting.
So I'm sure that you've been doing this for many years, of course, and you probably had a nice collection. Now, Mort, you live in Westfield, but you were basically grounded and came up in Brooklyn, right?
Yep.
Whatever got you from, you know, to come from Brooklyn to Westfield seems like quite a stretch.
Well, it was a convoluted trip, Reed.
Okay.
First of all, I was born at 114 Arlington Avenue in Brooklyn, coincidentally on January 14th. So I was born at 114 at 114, if you follow me.
Okay.
And it was a lovely area. Brooklyn has a reputation, and much of New York City does, of containing pockets of people with the same backgrounds. But the area in which I grew up, which was East New York, close to Highland Park, well, just looking at my friends, Johnny May, father born in Ireland, so is one of his brothers. Bernie Greco, family all Italian. And on and on and on. We had so many different backgrounds, but it played no role in our relationships until after we all came back from the Second World War. All but two of the guys were killed. But we started going out weekly to national restaurants, you know, Italian restaurants, Jewish restaurants, Irish restaurants. Each week we'd go to a different one, and the guy who represented that ethnic group, you know, would lead us in, and we had a wonderful time.
Corned beef and Irish soda bread, right?
Not very often.
Hey, it's coming up soon, guys. Get your corned beef. Although I noticed it's skyrocketed. The price of corned beef
has
just gone crazy. But
all food prices are going crazy.
Oh yeah, oh sure. And of course, the Congress has given us such poor COLAs by pretending there is no inflation for the last 8 years. We've lost 50% of our dollar. And now it's getting real serious because they gave us absolutely no COLA at all for 2 years, and they know inflation's going rampant, but they don't include the price of foods in their phony figures, or the price of taxes, which have gone ape, the price of our insurance, which has gone ape, the price of gasoline and fuel, and that's gone ape. Well, we don't count that. Now seniors are in real trouble. They're losing their homes right and left, and they're going to be eating cat food before you know it, just like during the Depression, Mort. What do you think?
Well, there's another aspect of it.
What's that?
And that is the cost of living is just so overwhelming as it rises. I forgot what the heck I was going to say. See, that's the problem, Reed, of getting 86. You start a sentence talking about fishing, and you end up about cooking fish or something else.
It's like the guy who says his wife, go into the kitchen and make a sundae, will you? And she goes in and comes back out with bacon and eggs. He says, doggone it, you know, I told you I wanted toast. That's the way it goes, huh, Mort?
Yeah, I guess.
Three guys walking down the street. One of them says, it's windy. And the other guy says, no, it's Thursday. And the third one says, me too, let's hit the bar. You're on, Mort.
Well, being 86, Reed, puts you face to face with a number of problems. You know, I have a wife who's raised me for over 50 years, helped me dress, I think dressed me, actually. No, it wasn't really that bad.
Well, she picked your dress.
But
your dress.
Women are instinctive mothers, and the instinction extends beyond the children. It also goes to the husband. Women tend to pamper their husbands. At least that's been my observation and my experience. And now, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately, my wife is in a nursing home, and she's in Westfield, so I get to see her every day. And we're very fortunate in this country in having a fantastic healthcare system, overpriced but fantastic, in that I had no problem finding a place who would and could care for my wife. And it is consoling.
Yeah. Well, of course, we give 30% of all our health care costs to the insurance companies, which is kind of strange. We're the only country in the world that does it that way. But national health care will come eventually. John, incidentally, I see the phone light is buzzing, is winking. You have a phone call there. So, Mort, tell me something else. How are you doing financially under your Social Security and pension? You doing well?
I'm having no problem at all, Reed. Excuse me. Social Security for my generation, and assuming you made a decent income, is high enough to support me. Now, I have savings. You know, my generation was brought up to be prudent, careful how they spent their money. Saving money was an important part of growing up. And I find that my money is not diminishing, the money that I've saved.
Okay, we got a phone call, Mort.
Great.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Oh, good morning, Reed. Good morning, Mort.
Good morning. I hear that chipper voice.
This is Linda. I want to say, Mort, you've done a wonderful job as geezer. You have such wonderful, powerful, sensible information, and you've been very persistent and brave about it, and thank you for what you've given us for all these years.
Linda, you keep up the compliments, and this room is going to be too small for my big head.
And I want to know when you're running for office, because I'll campaign for you, no matter what party you're in.
Well, for those members of the audience who wonder why I would laugh at that, Linda's been teasing me for the longest time, telling me I've got the perfect personality to be an elected official. I'm not sure at what level. She's been so flattering, I'm assuming she wants me to be President of the United States. But it's too much time consuming.
So how's the old geezer over there?
Well,
the guy
he wants to say something too. Well, thank you, Mort, and congratulations for everything you've done. We miss you, but I'm sure you'll enjoy your retirement. you won't have to travel up that mountain in the morning on Saturday during blizzards.
Not all the time. He's still going to be coming up, Mort.
Linda, someone who has an opportunity to assist the public, to do things to help other people, doesn't need to be thanked for what they've done. They need to be grateful for the opportunity to help their friends and neighbors.
Yes.
And I am grateful.
That's what makes you such a dynamic personality.
Okay, good. Doug, are you there?
Thank you. I just can't say thank you enough. I've enjoyed hearing you. That is something that I would have to hear every week. Mort's testimony as geezer. But Doug wants to say something too.
Okay. Good morning, Doug. Hello.
Hey, good morning, Mort.
Good morning, Doug. See, Doug wanted to talk to me, Reed. Don't interfere. Doug, go ahead.
Listen, I want to say I'm going to miss your dulcet tones. I'm going to miss your wit and your wisdom. And I swear, I think you must have the kindest heart.
Are you talking about me or Reed?
I'm talking about you. You are. I'm almost at a loss of words. I was going to play Auld Lang Syne, but I thought it might not be appropriate. Instead, I'm just going to say, I'll look forward to you coming back from time to time and filling in and keeping your opinionated feet wet on Access Channel 5. Okay, Mort, take care of yourself,
Thank you
buddy.
very much for those kind words.
You're welcome.
Doug,
You're
are you?
welcome.
Have you been out there ice fishing so far?
What's that?
How's the ice fishing going?
Oh, it's going pretty well. I caught a whale over there out by the well tower here. The well tower, the bell tower.
Whatever, the ding dong.
They did a Chautauqua special.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Wasn't
you
that
see that?
fabulous? Yeah, it's been repeated.
It was a little test. It was a little bit. I think they need to work on it a little bit more. But it gave a. I understand they're getting all kinds of hits now from all across the country. My son saw it in New Mexico, and
Yeah.
Mark Russell saw it in Washington, and so it apparently aired nationwide.
Oh yes, on all the public television. WNED had it here, and they repeated it as a matter of fact.
Hey,
And
Doug, when you catch a whale, are you allowed to keep it or do you have to throw it back?
You have to throw the blubber back.
well, then you won't be able to light your lamps anymore.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we light our lamps in Chautauqua with other fuel. Edison was here, you know. Hey, I'm gonna let you go.
Okay,
Back
thanks
again.
for the call, Doug Spalding and Linda
Thank you.
Spalding.
Have a great week and weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon, Mort.
He'll be on.
Thank you very much, Linda.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And
Thank
you too, Doug, of course.
Nice call. It was lovely for them to get in.
Oh, they are wonderful people.
Oh,
really.
they are, sure. So tell me, Mort, if you live in Westfield, do you have your house? You used to have a house there.
No,
Where do you
I
live?
gave the house to my daughter,
Okay.
who sold it.
Who promptly sold it.
That's right. And this was a house, Reed, remember, that I built with my own hands.
Yeah.
I hired a couple of Amishmen to work with me.
Yeah, and you almost broke your back putting up the garage, I remember, too. You fell off a ladder.
Well, that I did alone.
Yeah. Well, your daughter lives right up the road anyway. She's right nearby.
Yes, but she doesn't live in the house that I built.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to forgive her. She doesn't need two houses, and she likes her own house. She built that. Okay. I think that one of the things that's charming about the Chautauqua County, particularly Westfield where you live, is the small town nature of the people around. They tend to be more giving, more caring, more family oriented than the hardness you feel in the big cities. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't know, Reed. As you know, I grew up in a big city. I grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I went to school in Washington, D.C., and they have a population of more than several 100,000. And it is, in some ways, different. But my experience has been that if you choose your friends carefully, you have a wonderful group. And it's no more difficult in Westfield than it is in Ripley,
There you go.
than it is in New York City or
You got
Washington.
another phone call. You want to take a call?
Sure.
Hello, morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning. I just want to take an instant to, a minute, to wish the geezer a fine retirement and